Hi, it's me, John. Like I said, enough for the heavy and then the light. So, what am I going to talk about that's light that always brings me happiness? Oh, like I I saw the moon. The moon. It was pretty. I've always had a fascination with the moon because I've always wanted to travel there. I've always been a space cadet. Anyone who saw me would know me. Plus, I'm not the normal human, if you can call me human, anymore. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I've always really never cared about going to outer space, really. I didn't really care about flying either because of how it's high up, and I was always scared of heights. Always. Ever since I was little, ever since that one single time shift when I was little. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't care anymore because this weekend it's R&R. Enough with the heavy. The heavy is the war. What's going to go on? Preparing for the war, preparing for the battle. I'm not going to prepare for it right now. The battle is. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to think about the game. I'm not going to think about the war. I'm not going to think about the battle right now. This is my weekend. This is my week for not thinking about what's going to happen and just be my normal self. My normal 2015 self. I'm not going to think about what's going to happen, what's going to go down. What I'm thinking about right now is I'm going to tell you the story of how a time shift or something in my past changed to the point where I was scared of heights. I don't get this though. I was never scared of anything when I was a child. Nothing. That little voice in your head that says, don't do it, you're going to fall, you're going to get yourself hurt, never really turned on for me. I never afraid of anything. Then suddenly, when I started puberty, that was the most hellish time. I hated it. I hated every single bit of my puberty. Anyway, I was climbing a tree. I've been climbing this tree for years. And then suddenly when I climbed it again, I got scared. Like I was going to fall and hurt myself. And I'm never like that. I'm never like that. And it was really weird. I was scared half out of my mind that I was going to fall and hurt myself. And I don't understand where these fears come from. And ever since then, my little voice that says, danger, danger, John, danger, has woken up. I used to do a lot of crazy stuff when I was a kid. When I was 11, I would find houses that are abandoned or houses that are for sale. I would go into them, break into them, basically. But I wouldn't steal nothing. I don't like stealing. Stealing is wrong. Stealing is bad. My consciousness is too big for that. But I would imagine myself in this house. If I had this house, if it was my own. Imagine where the TV would go, where the couches would go, where my room would go, what the colors of the wall and everything else. I would imagine it. If this was my house, I would imagine myself in this house. I don't imagine what it would look like and what would I do to this house once it was mine. That's what I would always do. I would never steal anything from it. I would just imagine. My imagination was extremely wild back then. It was so wild to the fact is I didn't need Sims to see my creations come to life. I didn't need that. I had that all in my head. When I was younger, I would draw and make blueprints of houses. And then I would just go into my mind and see them in 3D form. See myself walking down the hallway. See what it looked like. Imagine what it would look like without even having to go there. Without even having to see it on film or the computer. I wouldn't need that. It was all in my head. I had that much of imagination. Like my grandma says, your imagination is so big that it's hard to grasp. None of my family could grasp my imagination. None. All my family didn't have any imagination. If I put all my imagination's family, if I put all my mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family's imagination combined, couldn't touch my imagination. Couldn't even grasp it. That's how big it is. It's still big. I'm an adult. I'm 36 years old. I shouldn't have this much imagination that I have now. But I do. That's kind of weird. A 36-year-old shouldn't have just a tiny bit. Not a whole bunch, but a tiny bit. I have the imagination of a child still. And sometimes it ticks me off. Yeah. So, I use it to draw with, to imagine things, to figure things out sometimes. It works. I heard this speaker back in the 90s when I was a kid. I was 11 years old. My mom was at work. I was by myself watching TV, and this speaker came on. And he was speaking truth. I was like, I didn't realize this, but it is possible. Your brain is a computer. You put garbage in a computer, you get garbage out of a computer. You put bad things in your computer, you get bad things out of a computer. So, fill your computer up with knowledge and all that kind of stuff. And it works really good. But don't give it viruses. That would be terrible. But that's when it was. That was when I was a time when my mom and my dad both accidentally, they didn't intend to, but they accidentally got me to be self-sufficient, be independent of myself. And that's me. I became independent at 11 years old. When I was left by myself for hours. I was from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 9 to almost 10 o'clock at night. I was totally by myself. I had no grown-ups near me. And I was allowed to do anything I wanted to do. And I never really did anything terrible. What I did was got home, snuck through the window, unlocked the door, told the driver bye-bye, because my mom put me on the bus. Because she found out that I was walking home with a boy. And I was walking to school and walking home with a boy, so she flipped out and she put me on a school bus. Parents. Then I would be home. I did my homework, watch TV, watch Power Rangers. Oh, I love watching those Power Rangers when I was a kid. I ran home just to watch them a lot of times. Then, after that, I would have done everything else. I did a lot of other things that was awesome, that I wanted to do. And one other thing that I did that was awesome was I did math homework. I love math. It was so easy. It was not. I mean, math was simple. It was logical, and that's what I liked. Of course, having imagination always helped. And, well, that was me. What else happened? I'm telling you what I am. This is my story. No one else. My parents really didn't know how to deal with me because they didn't understand me. No one did. Not one single soul understood me. And it's hard to understand somebody when you don't understand them. My parents didn't understand me. Like, my friends didn't understand me when I was growing up. Not very well. No one did. Because I'm not like everyone else. I'm not. I wasn't born like everyone else. When I was born dead. Yes. My body was physically dead. To the point where I had no life signs. So the doctors had to rush me out of the room so they can do CPR on me to get me to breathe, to get me to be alive. And suddenly I was alive again. But I had no memories of it. Then they gave me back to my mother. But I had jaundice. I had major jaundice. I had to be put in an incubator. What they called it back then, they called it bilirubin. That's what they called it. It was hard for me to gain weight. I was in there for a month. I was in the incubator for a month after I was born. Even though I was already to term. Go figure. But the problem is, I never really figured out why. I still don't understand to this day. Why me? I have an older brother and an older sister. My older brother would have been my whole brother. For my dad and my mom. My sister wouldn't. My sister would have been a half-breed. A half-sister. But my mom miscarried those two. But she didn't miscarry me. I don't understand. Why me? Why? I was the one that stayed alive full term. I guess I would never figure that out until now. Why was I born female when I wanted to be born male? When I should have been born male? I don't understand that either. So, yeah, stuff like that always happens. But that's just me in a nutshell. No one can figure me out. Because I'm never going to be the same person. I'm always going to be evolving, changing, waking. But that's just me. And I find it also weird that both of my parents have brown eyes. Brown eyes, brown hair, olive skin. I have olive skin. I have brown hair. Actually, black hair. But my eyes are hazel blue. Yeah. Hazel blue. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm a little... My eyes are a little weird right now because... Yeah. You try... I'm going to tell you what happened, okay? I was outside doing some stuff, and I decided to get allergy problems. My eyes are starting to get itchy, itchy ready. The stuff, allergy. And I put eye drops in my eyes, making them a little bit better. I never had allergies before until after puberty. Until puberty started. And then I started having allergies like major. I don't get why. Or the weird symptoms like when my twin is pregnant. I would have pregnancy symptoms. Every so often when my twin is pregnant, I'll feel it. The only reason I say twin is pregnant is because this isn't came from me. And it started when I was 13. For a few months I would feel pregnant. I would start having morning sickness, being very whatever, and I would start feeling that, and I would have weird cravings. And ever since, from the time I was 13 all the way up, I would have those symptoms. Every so often I would have those. And I have no idea why. I mean, physically, mentally, I would know that I wasn't. But every so often I have those symptoms. And that's one of them in nutshells. And the other one is never have a shower and then never eat before you have a shower. I mean, never, I cannot take a shower early in the morning without eating. I just can't. That's just me. If I took a shower and then eat, my stomach would hurt. It would be intense, and it would be bothersome for the rest of the day. Oh, one weird symptom that I had. One weird thing that happened in middle school. All through middle school, I threw up every single morning. Every single freaking morning that ticked the hell out of me. Every morning I would throw up. And it doesn't matter what. But I found out. But I didn't throw up. Dry toast and coffee. If I had coffee in the morning and dry toast, that was my breakfast. And I finally found my real breakfast was dry toast and coffee. So I had dry toast and coffee every morning for breakfast for middle school. And then in high school, that's when it stopped. Slowly, it stopped. And I was happy for it. Thankfully, it was stopped. And then, everything else started. In high school. Well, it started as early as middle school. The weird stuff that happens to me. Like sensing people who's gonna intentionally hurt me. My stomach would start to hurt. When I'm around that person, my stomach would hurt like crazy. But when I'm not around that person, it would stop. Suddenly. I guess how you would call that a gut feeling. Then, the other weird stuff started happening. Dreaming of stuff that happens, and then a week later it would come true. I wouldn't want it to come true. It just happens. And I wouldn't tell no one about my dreams. I never did. And it always happened a week later. I would have a dream, a week later it happened. Dream, week later. And this go on for a little while until the earthquake in LA. I dreamed that I was there. I wish I wasn't. I wish I never had that dream. After that, I was scared to death of what was happening to me. I thought something possessed me. Either I thought I was possessed, And this was around the time where I found out aliens could have existed. I was scared to death that I might have been one. I couldn't tell. I can't go into details why. Because I promised a certain individual that I wouldn't say anything. And I'm not going to. But I can tell you this. I was scared to death that I was. But around the same time, my dad didn't claim me as his own child. Even though I look like him. I have his hair, I have his features. I have his feet. My feet are big. My hands are big. But he didn't claim me. But that's okay. So he had to have a DNA test. Came out positive that I was. Of course, around that time period, I was scared that the DNA test would come out and I found out that I wasn't his. That I wasn't my mom's either. I was an alien. You know what that happened? By law, the doctors and the nurse, anyone who run DNA tests, if they found abnormality DNA like another strand or any other alien DNA, by law they have to tell the government. By law. No questions asked. Then, after that, the government would have taken me at 12 years old, took me to Area 51 and probably examined me, tortured me, and then once they were done with me, killed me at 13. I would have been 13 years of age and dead because of it. That was just what happened. But that's just me. That's what I thought of. Why I was so different. But I'm not. I'm human. 100% human grown. But there's something you should know. We're not human. We're not human at all. We're hybrids. Sorry for that. Every single human is a hybrid of two humanoid species coming together and forming one child. One species. Two species became one back in the day. We have characteristics that prove it. One, proving that we can adapt and overcome things and have intelligence. That's part of one. The other one is our Groot, or, me man, me want to do things, me want to fight, me want to not be whatever. It's the other one. Our Neanderthal side. And our Neanderthal side usually is really potent, really turned on certain individuals, and it's really docile in others. The docile ones, which means the Neanderthal side, is turned off and we're allowed to be human. And that's what it is. I want to talk something light too. Something happy. Like I want. I have to end this conversation right now because I'm gonna start another YouTube video, and this one is all about one thing. But I wanted to talk about the light stuff. Why I'm the way I am. Why I'm this way. So, yeah, this is me in a nutshell. I'm a human. I accept I'm a human. I accept the responsibilities that is placed before me. I accept what's going to happen. I accept is I just accept. Accept everything. So, yeah. It's time for me to close up. It's time for me to have R&R from the game, R&R from the war, R&R from the battle. So this week, I'm not going to be talking about the battle. I'm not going to be talking about anything like that. Anything different. I'm going to talk about boring, mundane stuff that everyone talks about. The boring shit. So that's just me. I'm going to talk about boring shit this entire week. Nothing interesting. No enlightenment. No battle. No war. And no game. Just boring, boring, boring. Just like everyone else. So this is just me talking to you, saying it's boring week. Boring week has commenced. And now I'm going to be a boring person that's asleep. Okay? Now, peace out. Be safe. And be mindful. And stop looking down on your phones. Look up once in a while. It's a beautiful day. So look up. Look at the clouds. Look up at the clouds. Look up at the sky. And imagine. And God bless. Bye.